Hey everyone, now that we are just a little over halfway through Unit 1, I wanted to make a quick video to just demonstrate a few things about the timeline that can be tricky or problematic for many of us. And so I definitely don't want anyone to be spending hours trying to get Tiki-Taki to work. That is not the point of this assignment. It is for us to start talking about historical events and topics and issues together on a chronological timeline in a way where we can start to make connections and actually write about those connections. And of course, we'll also be thinking about historical significance. So the point of all this is if you run into this problem where you've written everything out for your timeline entry into your document and Tiki-Taki isn't working, do submit that document to Brightspace and let me know that you're having issues with Tiki-Taki. Then I can help you out with that, and we can make sure that things get uploaded to Tiki-Taki in order for everyone to make their connections to each other's work. Also, do make sure to add placeholders to the timeline. When you start reading through the instructions for the timeline assignment for units 2 through 6, that should be a little more readily apparent, but the point of that is to claim your topic. We can't have duplicate topics. You have to make sure no one else has posted on the topic that you want to choose for that unit. And then if no one has, you need to add, I should say, a placeholder to claim that topic as yours. And there are instructions for that in the timeline assignment guidelines and tutorial videos. So do let me know if you have any questions. Okay, so now I want to just demonstrate a couple of things, as I mentioned. So you'll notice as you look along here, or look at the timeline, we have these little thumbnails. So you can see people's images, you can see their names, and their 6-word intro. So that was my example here. Um, some of them have a lot more text on these thumbnails than others, a lot more than just a 6-word intro. And so I'll show you something about that. And some of them have these kind of empty boxes instead of thumbnails of the images. So let me show you how to make all of this as clean as possible so that everyone can read it. And you hopefully are getting the sense already that I'm not the kind of instructor who is going to like take a bunch of points off your grade if you have an empty box here for the image when you're done. But I would like it to set things up so that everything works for everyone, and so we can make those connections and use the timeline to the best of its ability. So I'm going to click into Nora's entry. Hers is here, and when you click on more to make it bigger, again, you'll notice the box is empty and the text of the entry is in italics. And I'm in no way meaning to pick on you, Nora. I'm just trying to demonstrate something that is the case for several of us as I kind of scrolled through the timeline here. But for the intro here, in this one, for Unit 1, you were going to put your 6-word intro in the intro box. The rest of the text, I'm just going to cut that out of here. I'm going to click Save. Remember to click Save early and often because Tiki-Taki, especially if a few of us are trying to use it at the same time, can sometimes kick you out and you have to log back in. That's one of the reasons that I ask you to write everything on a document and paste it in here so that you don't lose anything and so that it's not frustrating. But again, I took that out of the intro box and I'm going to go over here to extra info and I'm going to paste it here. And once I do that, you'll notice that the text of the entry appears in normal font rather than in italics. And so that's important because it makes everything a lot more legible. The other thing I want to show you is how to get the media, the image itself, to display. And so when I click into edit, I notice that there's a Google URL here. And so to me, what this looks like is that this person, and it's not just Nora, it's many of us, have copied the URL from the browser bar instead of the URL for the image. So let me show you what that means. So before I made this video, I clicked into this Google search and found, I'm going to open another tab, found that this was the website that Nora was looking to grab a photo from. And I don't know which of these photos she was looking to add. So I apologize for that, Nora. But I'm just going to do the top one here. So rather than copy the URL up here in the browser bar, you need to put your cursor instead right on the image, do a right click or a control click, 2-finger tap if you're on a Mac like I am, and then you scroll down to copy image address. And if you're not using Chrome, if you're using a Microsoft browser or even Firefox, the phrasing on that might be a little different. But what you want is the address for the image itself. So I'm going to click on that, copy image address. I'm going to go back over here to the timeline, and I'm going to paste that into the source box instead. I'm going to click Save. And once I do, there is the image that displays correctly. So that's something, or like, those are the ways that you address those issues, and that's going to be important as we move forward with this assignment. Please do let me know if you have any questions or if you could use help with anything. I've been talking with a lot of you via email and text messages, and so that's great. That's what I'm here for. I hope that you're having a good experience with the class thus far, and I look forward to really jumping into our study of New Mexico history as we move into Unit 2.